What I've started thinking about and what I'm going to break down for you right here live on camera is a possible free hit game week 5. Just because I don't even know, or game week 6. Did I introduce this episode saying it was game week 5? We're going to edit this so that I say that first and then play. It's going to be a whole thank you for watching Squad Talk FPL. I'm your host, Nick Boonstra, and I drove people around Boston today. Who doggies? Boys, we are back. Welcome to another episode of Squad Talk FPL. Already, I am told, the internet's least reliable Squad League podcast, and we are not stopping there. I'm your host, Nick Boonstra, aka A Real Boon, aka FPL Cricket, aka Yuzia Blanca, and I'm glad to have you with me today. Just before we jump in, remember, if you are not yet subscribed on YouTube, definitely hit that subscribe button. Ring the bell, gotta ring the bell. Make sure you don't miss an episode, because as always, not even I know my upload schedule, so how can you know? How will you know when I'm recording, when I'm releasing? How is it gonna happen? So hit that subscribe button. It would really mean a lot to me. Hopefully it helps your team along the way, but I appreciate you guys following along as I do my best to build mine. In today's episode, a little Tuesday night special here, because I couldn't be bothered to record on Monday, but I couldn't also wait until Friday to take a look at this team and tell you guys my thoughts. I just have way too much going through my head about how this team is looking. It was a small red arrow this week, but things are still looking really good. I'm really excited, and there are plenty of options available for where things go from here into game week 5 and beyond. So
did I introduce this episode saying it was game week 5?
let's just jump right into it. The Boone Squad bringing home 47 points, bringing home the bacon, getting 47 points on the week for game week 4. Returns from Senesi, Bruno Fernandes, Kudus, and Erling Haaland. Dubravka and Tarkovsky left on the bench. I know that was a big decision, a big pain point last week. Was I going to start Pickford or was I going to start Dubravka? And I said that I thought both games had goals in them. I didn't think either keeper was going to keep a clean sheet, and that much was true. What I didn't anticipate was Dubravka being the one to get save points instead of Jordan Pickford. So you win some, you lose some. But the biggest issue, guys, and I said it myself last week, injuries are a skill issue. I got skill issued. FPL skill issued me. Enzo Maresca skill issued me. Cole Palmer. I thought, listen, I was like, this game was crazy. Robert Sanchez getting that red card so early. I was like, all right, well, that'll be good for Bruno. And obviously it was 10 points for him, a goal and 3 bonus. So I'd love to see that. But Cole Palmer subbed off 20 minutes. Was it Maresca just going full dementia mode, or was it some sort of injury issue? And it looks like it is something that Cole Palmer is dealing with, so that's certainly unfortunate. Not something that we want to see in our teams, and big question marks about what I'm going to do with him. Gakpo blanking, Paquetá. Diouf, 3 points, yes, he returned an assist, but 2 goals conceded and a yellow card, so not really a whole lot to write home about there. I'm wondering if I can ever bench Tarkovsky again until the end of time. He's just an absolute defensive contribution machine, as we are all learning. Funny, yeah, Pedro Porro, actually my worst scoring defender on the week here, just the 1 point from him. So nothing too much really there. 47 points on a game week where the average was 42. So we drop, again, small red arrow from just inside the top 300,000 to just outside of it. 330,306. Is my current overall rank, and again, I'm still very happy with that. Still no chips played, and 2 free transfers in the bank, along with about 1.6 million to spend, and we're going to have to see how we're going to spend that. Quick look at the Squad Talk FPL League. Your boy's still on top. Johnny's still in second. Bobby's still in third. It's getting a little tighter. Really tough week for Johnny. I haven't even looked at this yet, but 27 points is unfortunate. The -3 from Sanchez will do it for you. A 0-pointer from Tosa, not out of a benching, but out of 2 goals conceded and a yellow card, so nothing to get him into the positive there, but nothing to get Isak or Senesi off of his bench, so that's definitely not something that you want to see, especially Dubravka on the bench. And listen, I know a lot of managers are going to have a team looking a lot like this with Dubravka on the bench. Obviously, I did. Senesi benching is understandable against Newcastle. Voltemata and just their attack. There's always options. There's always routes to goals there, so I can understand being a little hesitant. But again, Senesi with the defensive contributions, with the clean sheet potential, it looks like he's somebody that we just won't be able to bench again until the end of time, or at least until further notice. A couple of duds from the Crystal Palace defense, even going up against West Ham. So what are you going to do there? And then, as I experienced, again, Gakpo, just the 2 points taken off right at 60 minutes. Mo Salah, I mean, it's been my whole life, right? My decision to sell Salah for Palmer and planting my flag and saying, you know what, I'm done with Salah. He did get an assist. I honestly feel like I dodged a bullet, only 5 points from him. I still have a lot of respect for Mo Salah. He is the Egyptian king. He may be right back into my team very shortly. So what are you going to do with that? But just the one assist at 90 minutes played makes me feel like I may have dodged a bullet on something that could have been a lot worse. Again, the Everton defense, not to be sneezed at. There's certainly something there. So I wouldn't write off the Everton defense, and but I wouldn't write off Mo Salah either too quickly. Maybe I did a little too quickly, so we'll see. And then our other friend Bobby here, FPL Benchwarmers, 48 points. So beat me by a point. Kudos to you, Bobby. Kudos. It's weird having a player named Kudus when the word is kudos, and sometimes people switch the two around and then people conflate them and make puns, and it's a whole thing. English is a weird language. Florian Wirtz still in Bobby's squad. I gotta tell you, brother, I don't know what he's doing there. That's a tough one. Not someone that I would keep around, but what do I know? Dubravka on the bench, and then Xhaka again returning on the bench. That's a couple weeks in a row. He's listen, 3-4-4-5-4. That's not nothing. It's better than 2-pointers. He's quietly turning over 2 assists on the season. Is he getting in on defensive contributions? He's gotten 2 pings on that, 13 and 18 in game weeks 2 and 4 respectively. Sunderland got Nottingham Forest next, and who even knows what life looks like over there. So that's an interesting pick and an interesting hold. He certainly could be a little spicy, a little exciting. Estev with some points, Senesi in there. Rodon is someone that I'm looking at. So we'll see how it goes. Listen, I'm scattered tonight. It's a late night record, guys. I'm sorry, but I've got a lot on my mind. I think the biggest thing that I really want to talk about with you guys here tonight is chip strategy, because it's all getting very exciting. Now, I want to start by making abundantly clear that it's not too late. It is not too late if you have gone down the wrong path, if you have let the evil Twitter voices get into your head. It's not too late to repent, to click that undo button, to turn around. Game week 6, planting the flag, is not the week to triple captain Erling Haaland. Not only because there may now be even some sort of injury or rest scare, minute scare with what it'll look like for him this weekend. He's still my captain, don't get it twisted. Unless we really hear something bad, I don't plan on selling him or captaining anyone else. Certainly it's a good game. But I don't think the Burnley defense is as bad as everyone says. And apparently statistically, listen, again, we play vibes-based, GMO-free, gutful FPL here at Squad Talk. So I know there's some stats somewhere saying that Burnley have the worst defense in the Premier League so far this season. And if you just want to rely on that, sure. Wolverhampton Wanderers scored a goal against Leeds this past weekend. Okay, I want you to think about that. I want you, look at, we're doing this. We're going all the way out. We're going to bring up the table. We're zooming out of FPL and we're looking at the actual Premier League table right now, okay? And we're going to scroll all the way to, I don't want a Jack Grealish shirt. Thank you, no thank you. We go all the way to the bottom, even below my beloved West Ham United. Dead last, rooted to the bottom. 5 losses out of 5, 3 goals for, 12 goals against Wolverhampton Wanderers. 5 losses in a row, just doomed, destined to go down this season. Leeds United conceded a goal to this team, okay? All attack, no defense, all gas, no brakes. They scored 3 of their own, so it all worked out. It's all fine. They won the game. Leeds conceded a goal to Wolves, okay? If Leeds can concede 1 goal to Krejci, shout out Alex Volo on Twitter for that pick, that call, that was crazy. If Leeds can concede 1 goal, if Leeds can concede 1 goal to Wolves, how many goals do you think they're going to ship off against Manchester City in game week 13? All right, this is not the time. Save that precious triple captain for the end of November when Manchester City host Leeds United. Please, I beg you, don't be hasty. Don't believe the hype. Don't play your triple captain on Erling Haaland for the Burnley game. Still at home, still at the Etihad. Listen, I could be proved wrong. Maybe he scores a hat trick, but then he's going to score 5 against Leeds. I'm just telling you, save that triple captain. This is not the week to play. Okay, that being said, this may still be a week for a chip. So my bus team as it stands, Pickford in goal over to Dubravka. Again, don't trust West Ham to do anything, so I'm not worried about that fixture for Everton. Tarkowski, Porro, Senesi in the back line, and this is all with no transfers made, by the way. Midfield, Gakpo, Palmer still in there. He's got the vice captain armband at the moment. We'll see Bruno Fernandes, he is actually getting the vice captain armband as we speak. Kudus and Lucas Paquetá, who is regretfully still on my team. And then up front, Haaland captain against Burnley and Evanilson once again against Leeds. Great fixture. Diouf the first bench option, and then Mark Guiu and Axel Tuanzebe still in there as well, doing absolutely nothing for me. I, like I said, have 2 free transfers, and I've got 1.4 million in the bank. And there are so many different directions that I could go this week, brother. I am telling you, there are a plethora. I mean, most of them have revolved around getting Palmer out of my team for Semenyo. If I don't want to play any sort of chip this week and just want to make 2 straight up free transfers, it's most likely Semenyo in for Palmer and then either Tuanzebe or more likely Mark Guiu out for an option. If I take Guiu out, I have 8.4 million to spend. Joao Pedro feels, I don't love it, but Pedro feels like a decent enough option. Brighton this week, again, maybe without Palmer, but I just don't love Joao Pedro. I know he's got the points, he's good. I should like him. 2 goals and 3 assists so far on the season. Like, what's not to love? And he scored without Palmer on the pitch in that West Ham game. Probably has penalties. It's all there, and it all makes good sense. And I should just bite the bullet and accept that I was wrong. If I make the moves this way, I don't quite have enough for Gyökeres. Richarlison could be really interesting. Wolves, Leeds, and Villa in his next 3. So there are options. If I really wanted to, Tuanzebe out, 8 million to spend, so sure, you go get Gabriel. But then again, is this the week to do that against Newcastle? And so that leads in, and then you've got, another 1.9 million left in the bank. And there are some variations where I take a hit and whatever. So that's one thought. That's just the general outline of if I just straight transfers, take out Palmer. I told you last week I was looking at a really spicy, really tasty, crunchy, munchy wild card here for game week 6. And you can go and look at that video for that from this past Friday if you want to break that down. Because to be honest, I couldn't even tell you off the top of my head what that might look like. There is a potential free hit sitting here in the game week 6 ether, world, land. And there may be a free hit. So I'm going to break down what I would do on free hit this week. Now, the biggest reason to free hit, now that we've had 1 day of Carabao Cup fixtures, and obviously there's more to go, so be careful. The biggest thing that comes to mind for me is the fact that we now know, I would assume beyond a reasonable doubt, that Alexander Isak starts for Liverpool this weekend. Because Ekitike, which is, I haven't watched the highlights or anything, didn't see the game, but just the idea that you would second yellow yourself by taking your shirt off is just amazing. It's just phenomenal. And so that's going to have him suspended for this week away at Selhurst Park for the Crystal Palace fixture. 23 minutes against Everton. Assume he starts. I doubt he plays the whole game, but 75 minutes, even 60 minutes, it's Alexander friggin' Isak. We know we know what he can do. So you get Isak into the team, you get Palmer out of the team. Now Palmer, and again, like I said, I'm just building this live on camera for all of you. So we're doing this together here, folks. Palmer becomes Semenyo. After that, so now that puts us 2.1 million in the hole. Pedro Porro, I don't feel it against Wolves. I may be feeling Mickey van de Ven against Wolves. Let's see. I swear to God, I should have brought in Matty Cash, man. I'm telling you, I sent in a question, 59th minute FPL podcast. Go listen to it if you don't already. Love Mark, love FPL General, love the show. And I sent in a question. I appreciate him answering. I was like, I'm looking in the 4.5 million range for a defender, because this is when I thought I was going to transfer out Tuanzebe instead of just going ahead and rolling. I was like, do I target Crystal Palace for just the production, the output that we've been seeing from them? Or do I go in on Aston Villa, even though obviously it's been a struggling season, but target the fixtures? And Matty Cash was one of the people I was thinking. And I was like, again, I end up just rolling. He scores the goal. He scored it for Poland on his international break as well. So Matty Cash could be a really interesting option. Up against Fulham, I don't know. Let's just plug him in there just as someone, because I'm talking about him. I'm excited about him. We're going to need to cut budget somewhere. That might be... if I get Isak up front, I'm probably going to take Gakpo out. Tijani Reinders against Burnley, get him in the middle there. Okay. This brings us to a free hit team. And again, I'm not even sure who's the best goalie. Who's got the best goalie fixture this week? What are we looking at? Listen, it could be Donnarumma. What's his price? 5.6. I have one in the bank, so Pickford out. I could take Pickford out, put Donnarumma in. Guys, I really don't want to pull the trigger on this live on camera. I want to think more about this. But we're looking at a free hit of Donnarumma, Senesi, Cash, Tarkovsky, Van de Ven, Semenyo, Reinders, Bruno Fernandes, Kudus. Okay, no, but I want all 3. So what is that, a 4-3-3 or a 3-4-3? Who is... You definitely need to play all three of Evanilson, Isak, and Holland up front. You definitely need to play Semenyo, Reinders, and Bruno Fernandes. And I think Kudus, so that means 3. So defenders, I would go for Senesi. Well, but see, this is the thing. Senesi is going to get the defensive contribution points, but Leeds are just going to score. They're just going to bat it. You know what I mean? They're going to ship 20 goals on the other end, but they'll score 1, maybe 2, so Bournemouth clean sheet doesn't feel super likely. And again, I haven't looked at any stats because clean sheet percentages are stupid and idiotic. And this past game week showed us that they were supposed to be predicted. The bookies and all the stats and all the numbers was supposed to be the least clean sheets that the Premier League had seen, like the fewest goals scored, the most clean sheets. It's 9:16 p.m. Last week, game week 5 was supposed to have a lot. Game week 5 was not supposed to have many goals scored. My name is Nick Boonstra, and this is Squad Talk FPL. There was not expected, the projections, the predictions, there were not going to be many goals scored this past game week. Goals were scored this past game week. Only one game had any clean sheets, and it was both sides. But goals were scored this past week. So again, don't believe the hype. So right now I'm looking at, this is going to be such a fun one to edit, man. I can't even, just trying to think if there's anyone else that I want to target that I don't have. I feel good. Evanilson, Isak, Holland as my front 3 on a free hit for game week 6 feels immaculate. Evanilson against the Leeds defense, have to do it. Isak, when he's guaranteed to start, have to do it. Erling Haaland against Burnley, have to do it. He's your captain. Semenyo against Leeds, have to do it. Reinders, flip a coin, but hopefully we hit heads again, right? Bruno Fernandes against Brentford, is there a better option than that? The other thing, the reason why a free hit makes so much sense is because we come back, we reset, we know more not only about Cole Palmer's status, but about Bukayo Saka's status. He's back, and I wouldn't want to bring him in for this Newcastle fixture. If you go there early and you're lucky enough and he does score, props to you. That's huge, and it could certainly happen. I'm a little more wary. I really rate the Newcastle defense highly, so I'm not going to go there. But after, all the hate that I get, you know what I mean? I go on Twitter saying I've found the ideal game week 6 wild card, and everyone's like, you don't have any Arsenal defenders, and that's true. And this could easily be a free hit into a wild card 7, to start targeting Arsenal assets. Bring Gyökeres in, bring Saka in, bring Gabriel in. Maybe it's Raya instead of Gabriel or something like that. You know what I mean? But I think Saka, if we see good minutes out of him, decent XG, even if he doesn't score, if he does produce or promise in this coming fixture against Newcastle, I think he's a great target for game week 7, and I think a wild card to make that a reality could be very interesting. So that's something to keep in mind. I'm even going to add him right now to my watch list because I don't think he's on there yet. What would be a good defender instead of Bruno Fernandes? I really don't know if there is one. Grealish against West Ham is interesting if you want to risk that, but I don't know if he really pips Bruno for me on that one. Can't wait to clip that and replay it next week. Affordable. Do you want Gakpo? Do you want to double up against the Crystal Palace defense? I don't really think so. Again, the hope is that Isak is just the focal point. And obviously, if you want to just buy him outright, he's probably a good hold, right? If he starts this week and he does well, maybe this is it. This is the turning point and he gets that starting spot. People talk about it like it could be more up in the air than that, so it's probably best to play it safe. What if we sort by ICT index? Man who hates statistics, cites statistics. Again, Bruno's top of that for what we got here. So I think you keep Bruno. Kudus, yeah, against Wolves you have to. Paquetá, he's there as a bench option. It's a million short of getting Grealish in, so you can't really do that unless you want to bump Tarkowski down to, is there a worthwhile 4.5 defender? So what, Tarkowski out, Paquetá becomes, but then 3-5-2. So what, Grealish would be your bench option? Is that worth it? Diouf tops the ICT index here, who's top minutes played. Okay, so you're just starting to look at someone like a Tyrone Mings for Villa, Chris Richards for Crystal Palace, which good option, but bad fixture, Liverpool. Struijk or Rodon or someone. Listen, if you're not going to have him, you might as well get the most cash that you can, right? And who knows, Diouf could get an attacking return, obviously. It's Everton, you never know. I man who rates Everton defense highly, offhandedly ships the concept of them shipping a goal to West Ham of all teams. You would probably want to get Dubravka out as a backup goalie. Just, you never know. Who knows, Donnarumma. Pep's rotation could be anything and everything. To be fair, all of those in the back who've sold because Mr. Sanchez there for Chelsea is the most sold, one of the most sold players. He's not suspended. He served a suspension midweek here for the Carabao Cup, which is hilarious because he probably wouldn't have played it in it anyway. So that's already done. Marco Bisot. What do we got? Kelleher against United? No. Petrovic is great, but I don't have room for a fourth Bournemouth asset. Verbruggen. Chelsea is a no. Roofs against Forest is a maybe. It's a maybe. Yeah, I don't know, brother. I don't know if there's a really great backup option here. Hermanson? Everton? I mean, yeah, but then now who's starting for West Ham? Is Areola back? Who's the dude? So, I don't know what you do there. Maybe you just go Roofs and, again, he's your bench option. But at least you feel better about him than Dubravka going up against City. And obviously, this is the week when Chris Wood hauls again. Like, it's going to happen. Can't wait to... I need to, find an editor who knows how to actually clip things. So this would give us Donnarumma in goal, Senesi, Cash, and Van de Ven with Rodon and Diouf on the bench. That's 3. And then 4 would be Semenyo, Reinders, Bruno Fernandes, and Kudus. And then 3 up front would be Evan Nielsen, Isak, and Erling Haaland. Grealish, the first bench option as well. I don't know, guys. It feels tasty. It feels scrumptious. It's exciting. It's interesting. It's sexy. It's something we're thinking about. Free hit. I don't even know what wild card I would do. I'm not even going to go there. I've fried your brains enough already. We're going to look at the draft league. We're going to look at the... Why do you have to log in, brother? It's the same me. I'm the guy. It's me. It's literally me. You know it's me. Nice solid win here in... Game week 5 for the I quit work for this squad and the CT doesn't know how to join league. Like you guys will know already, it's identical backline except it's Dan Burn instead of Axel Tuanzebe. 9 points from him with a clean sheet, defensive contributions, and 1 bonus point. So love to see that. I did start Dubravka over Pickford here, so that's good. And I had Tarkovsky, so his 3 points make it in as well. Reinder's really the only other one returning. 9 points for him with the assist plus 2 bonus points and snagging a cheeky defensive contribution haul as well. Okay, so it was 45 minutes out of Bukayo Saka, who I did hold on to. It came close. We thought about trading him away, but we've held on to him thus far, and with him and Anthony Gordon back, they're fit and available just in time to face each other. Well, Gordon, it was a suspension, but back in my team. Callum Wilson up front because he's like the only guy that I have that really starts. I've got Mecha coming off the bench here. I just, listen, guys, we don't talk about the strikers in my team. We don't think about it. We don't worry about it. We just don't do it. I don't really think there's any good waiver wire pickups here. Gravenberg could be interesting for minutes, but not really for anything else. So I wouldn't look at him. Stack, he's a 90-minute man, but then who's going to come out of my team for him? You know what I mean? Like, is it worth dropping Dango now that he's a minutes risk? That's a maybe, something we're thinking about, but I don't know for sure. So I haven't pulled the trigger on that. I might put in a waiver claim for him, but we'll see. Other than that, who you really going for? Sunderland? You know what I mean? Like, what are we doing here? So I don't know, brother. I don't know about all that. But listen, free hit. It's a possibility, man. Save that triple captain. Yeah, look, Sanchez most transferred out so far this game week. Almost 350,000. Like, what are you doing? He's not suspended. He's got a good enough fixture. Brighton, sure. I'd start him. If it's Dubravka second, yeah. Save a transfer, you know what I mean? Like, what are we doing? Maybe just a boatload of people are wild carding and they just don't want to deal with Sanchez. So that's always an option as well. Salah getting shipped out en masse. And as someone who just shipped out Salah, I don't know if I would recommend it for your health. Your results may vary. I don't know who they're going to marry, but they might. Your mileage may vary as well. So that's all that. I think we're going to call it there, guys. That was just a solid 20-minute fever dream of FPL stream of consciousness. I hope it helps you live in your life, and hope you get out there, win your week. There's still plenty of it left. I plan on getting another episode out. Again, probably on Friday. I'll record Friday morning and send it out from there. Make sure you check out the link in the description to my Buy Me a Coffee if you want to support me, if you want to support the channel. If anything that I just came out of my mouth resonated with you somehow by the grace of God and you want to hear more of it, then a quick little tip on Buy Me a Coffee would go a long way into helping me feel good about the work I'm doing here and keeping it going. So thank you very much for watching. Again, hit subscribe if you haven't already. Ring the bell. Like if you like, comment if you got questions. I'd love to answer them. Again, give me some listener questions to answer for Friday, and I would be happy to do so. But in the meantime, I've been Nick Boonstra. Get out there, tinker with your team, win your week, and let me know how it goes. I'll talk to you soon.